How is it going, everybody? I am live, and somehow or another, music started playing. There we go. Welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels, number 215, I believe this is, which is crazy, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and thankfully, your comments are absolutely ridiculous. I am looking forward to hearing from all of you guys. I love you all so very much. If you're new to the show, if you've never tuned in before live, please make sure you ask questions. Also, make sure you give each other a hard time. Make sure you make absolutely ridiculous comments. It's all good. Yes, I did shave. I got tired of, So let me just... What's up, Mick Dundee? That's awesome. Let me give you the rundown on how I operate with my my hair and things. I cut it and shave, and then I don't do anything until I just get tired of not doing anything, and then I do it again. So, yeah, I just don't do anything. What is up, Two-Stroke Addict, coming in from Australia? What day and time is it in Australia right now? It is Thursday the 26th at 6 p.m. here. Bruce Kennedy, what's happening, man? How you doing? I had to go out for coffee today. Normally I make my own, but I finished up work. And I'm sitting here. Hey, there we go. What is up, Sam Mihulka? I think that's how you pronounce it, right, Sam? I should ask you because it's a crazy name. Michael Webster, what's happening? Guys, Adam. Anyway, so it's out of screen. Hey, Jason Kozlarich. That is a phenomenal name, Jason. How's it going in Iowa? Probably pretty relatively flat and full of corn. No offense, but Adam's bike is like this close to being done. I just got done valving the shock. The forks are all done. If you've seen that video, the shock video is coming very soon. It's done and edited, and well, actually no, I'm editing it tonight. Anyway, it's coming soon. And went to see RMZ 450 tonight. Really hard to turn over by hand with fresh piston. By hard to turn over, it should be. It's a 450. Should be pretty hard to spin it over. If it's like feeling like there's a lot of friction, though, I don't know. Fresh piston, all that. Lots of things could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure. Lance Frazier, what brand of lift tables do? Oh, so I use, those are direct lift. They used to be affordable. They're pretty crazy expensive these days. I mean, I think they're over $1,500 now. I've got 4 of them, and they're awesome, but they're definitely pricey. If you can afford that, definitely recommend them. That or Handy Lift, I think, is the other one. Anyway, these have been great. I've had one of them I've had for 15 years, so it's been a workhorse. I need to actually fix that one. I need to buy a cylinder. They're just really expensive. So I recommend those if you can swing it and you have a compressor that will run it and all that good stuff. If you can't, if that's a little out of your price range, which I would understand if it's just for your house, honestly, the Harbor Freight ones are really good. They're just, they used to be like $300 on sale. I don't know what they are now. They just use a bottle jack. You just kind of pump them up to go up. So it's like if you're working professionally, they're not that great because it's like up and then down. You gotta, anyway, it's not very fast. Whereas these things, I'm up, down, up, down, up, down on these things all day, and it's no big deal. But the Harbor Freight ones are great for home use. I'm actually probably gonna buy one for my new shop at home too. So. If you guys are here and watching, make sure you say hi. I love it. It's Steve and Becky Peterson. I don't know if you're both here, Steve and Becky, but hi from Wyoming. Where in Wyoming are you? I love the great state of Wyoming, by the way. Very, very big fan of Wyoming. But make sure you just chime in, tell me where you're from. I love knowing where you guys are all from. I know Two-Stroke Addicts coming in from Australia. He didn't say where, what day and time it is, though. Maybe he'll get in here. Oh, hey, from Indy, Joe Stratman, what's happening? Northern Michigan, Robert Wood. What's up, Jared? I know where you are. Also a mitten guy, Bruce Kennedy. I love it. I'm like right here. All the Michiganders. One of these days I'm going to make it out there. Sorry that we did the Ride the World in the Pacific Northwest. For all you East people, I apologize, but it's hard for me to go east. Checking in from Connecticut, right on, Ed Crane. Ronnie Nelson, Buenos tardes, ¿qué pasó? Gillette, Wyoming. Yeah, I know where Gillette is, and I like it. Lucas Monk's coming in from Oklahoma, my home state. I do love the state of Oklahoma. But again, sorry about the whole Northwest thing. If you're from the East and you want it anyway, it's a very long way for you guys. It's a long way for me, but I'm very, very excited. If you guys haven't seen that yet, if you haven't seen that on our Facebook page, we are Friday, 9 a.m. There we go, in Australia. We are doing our Ride the World Series of Awesomenesses, episode 6 from the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest in the great state of Washington. Really very excited about that. I've never ridden dirt bikes in the Pacific Northwest. I've been up there, not a ton, but a few times, and I really like it. I'm really excited to ride some very, very different terrain. Russell K. from Salt Lake City, what's happening? Jesse Cameron from Minnesota, he sucks at dirt bike. Yes, Scott Weigel, I love it. Frank K. 5'7", short leg. Should I lower my KTM 300 professionally? Try flopping over. Should I just suck less? Frank, God, that's awesome. Man, 5'7", short legs, dude. Shorten the thing. Do something. Make yourself more comfortable. What year 300? Let me know, and I can tell you kind of what the best thing is. The Ride the World event. Sam, Grit Motorsports, is what's up, Crash Art? How's it going? So I made up this thing called the Ride the World Series of Awesomenesses a couple years ago, and I decided I wanted to do events around the country that are ways for all of us internet people to gather together and meet face to face. I like to use the internet for good. A lot of other people do not like to use the internet for good. And I want to use it for good, and I want people to see each other, because one of the problems with the internet is that you can just say things and not get punched in the face. And I don't like that. I feel like we should still be able to get punched in the face. And you'd be a lot nicer person, generally. So I want to get people together. I don't want anybody to get punched in the face, but once you see people and meet people, you're much less likely to say dumb things to them. Because turns out we're all just humans and trying to get around this world. And we're all dirt bikers. So that's how it started. And I've done quite a few. We've done 5, obviously. The last one was here in Montrose. It was a lot of fun. And now I am looking forward to going somewhere else. We're going to go to the Pacific Northwest. Eventually, we are going to get back east. Number 7, though, will probably be in Wyoming with our friend Kim Jackson. She's got a really cool place, so it'd be super rad. Thumb of Michigan, Levi, I love it. Michael, I'm going to get to you in a second. So the what is it, 300 XCW. Frank, what I would do is, it depends on how much you want to go. You don't need to go crazy amount, but you could get some shims for the shock, lower that, and raise the forks, and probably get like an inch. Just raise the forks up, not even spend a bunch of money on the forks and lowering them. If you need to go more than that, you can go inside the forks and do that. It's not that bad. But yeah, if you're not comfortable, just do it. Bruce is funny. Try being 5 foot even, and he does not lower his bike. So so lots of people who are short ride stock-sized bikes. Of course, Bruce does not ride a stock-sized bike. He rides a Beta, and they're not stock-sized. But I'm sure he's got other bikes that are, whatever. So yeah, it's whatever. But if you want to be lower to the ground, you want to do it, first of all, try not sucking as much. But I'm all for it. Lower it. Don't worry about it. Michael Van de Sluis. What is the closest enduro in Colorado to Utah? They released all the race schedules here and no enduros. The closest one to Utah. I don't know, but I don't know what the closest one is. It doesn't matter what the closest one is, Mike. The one you need to come to, that you must do, is the Shady Burrow Enduro in South Fork, Colorado. It's not very close to Utah at all, but it's also not that far because it's on the west side of the state. But it's on the south. Anyway, it's the best enduro in the country. period. It's not a timekeeper, but it is an enduro. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget to hit a salmon stand. Right on, Chris Hitchcock. I will make sure I don't. Yes, Bruce, your 690s are super tall. But again, you're not riding your 690 on technical hard terrain. Or at least I don't think you are. Maybe you are. I would avoid that. So, yeah, Ride the World is going to be a lot of fun, guys. There's no money involved. There's no limit to the number of people that can come. All that stuff. It's just awesome. Kim Jackson, 50-mile-an-hour winds all day. Oh, yeah, dude. Kim, Wyoming in the winter is a little bit of a thing. Crash Hard, you should come to the Shady Burrow. The Shady Burrow, and Mike, yeah, you got to come, dude. It's the best enduro ever. It's 2 days. It's hard as crap. It's so much fun. It's just, yeah, and Jesse, absolutely ride both days. Like my kid, my 13-year-old, I'm so proud of him, finished that thing. He did the C class, but he did the full race C class, so he did the whole thing. He didn't do the, A tests because they had extra tests for us, but it was so cool to see him do it. He was so beat down. The first day he left way ahead of me because the C riders left like an hour and a half before we got going. So he was out on trail way before me, and he got done, and I came back and he's underneath the tarp on the van, like our little awning, and just like passed out. It was awesome. He couldn't even move. It was so good. Sam, what about skill level for Ride the World? Any skill level is invited / encouraged. I will say that a lot of people will be, there'll be some very good riders there. But the thing is, we will split groups up. My buddy Dan, who runs True North Motos, quick plug for them, best wiring harnesses ever, especially for these new bikes. He is going to be helping guide us around, lead us around, because I don't know anything about it. And he's got buddies, and we will definitely find out how the group is, and we will put people in different groups and make sure that everybody is well represented, or not well represented. Everybody has fun. So, yeah, anybody, anytime. This one, the Pacific Northwest, I would say, is probably going to be a little bit harder than some. We did one in South Dakota, not this recent summer, but the summer before. And that was definitely more of a family-oriented one because there's some very easy trails. And we're staying at like not a campground, but it was a campground and cabins. Anyway, it was very much more family-oriented. This one is not going to be as family-oriented. My kids will not be there, I don't think. I don't know. I got to talk to my kids. I doubt it because fair will happen right after that. My one boy is raising cows for that. So anyway, probably won't be there. So it'll be just me. And unfortunately, no Zach because he will have joined the National Guard by that point. He's going to join the National Guard and have to do boot camp and all that. So he's going to be gone for a while, coming up here, starting in like end of April, May. And I'm going to be like 6 months here by myself. Well, I think Sam and I are going to talk. Sam's maybe going to come in and help me. We got to talk about that. Is it a problem to only do one day? I work Sundays and just plan to do Saturday. No, Crash Hearts, not a problem at all to do one day. He's talking about the Shady Burrow. It is not a problem at all. It's totally cool. The reason Jesse said do both days is that it's a very manly thing to do both days. But yeah, one or both you can have. Yeah, one day is worth the drive. It's totally worth the time and money to come for one day. It's just if you can, 2 days is great. You get more for your money. Looks like Russell K is talking about enduros. You guys talk about that. Ride the World Series are awesome because I guarantee you meet other riders that come from skill of yes. There you go, Jared. Yeah, it's yeah. Show up to the Ride the World. You will meet people that are on your same level, and it's a lot of fun. Crash is not manly. Fair enough. If you just want to be less than manly, you can do one day. I'm kidding. Although my 13-year-old did do both days, so I just, whatever. Although, let me tell you something about that kid. That kid is pretty freaking manly. For a 13-year-old, he's soon to be 14. 13-year-old kid, that's one manly little dude. He's got 2 steers he's raising. He's doing that all by himself. And he's just whatever, man. He's trapping beavers, getting paid for it, shooting deer and eating them, whatever. He's the best. Are the dates for Ride the World on Facebook? Sawyer Llewellyn. I don't have an event made yet for it, but Jesse's so good. But it is, let me look it up. It's July 14th, 15th, 16th, I think, is what it is. It's a weekend. So yeah, it's July. The riding days are 14, 15, 16 of July. And I will be traveling there. I'm going to be leaving at the crack on Wednesday, the 12th, and like trying to get all the way there. Maybe that day it's 1,000 miles for me. And so I can be there early, but I'm sure I'll get a ride in on Thursday because, I'm gonna. But yeah, we'll ride Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then start traveling back probably Sunday night, and then get home Monday. So yeah, I'm gonna get an event made up. I'm gonna announce it officially on YouTube here also. Oh, by the way, I see there's a ton of you guys watching, but not a lot of you guys have get the thumbs up. So you have to back out of the chat. If you back out of the chat and then click the thumbs up and then come on back into the chat, that'd be awesome. Bruce Kennedy, I also think my kids rock. They're a lot of fun. Yes, shots fired, Crash Hard. You bet, man. If the little dude can do both days, you got to do both days. And he loved it. It was his favorite race ever. So, hey, there's my dad, Scott Spradling. I love you, Dad. Is Mom here? I'm sure my mom's here. Everybody say hi to my dad, Scott. He is the greatest dad ever. He lives in Oklahoma City, and he's awesome. So I'm the luckiest man ever to have had him as a father. Everybody should meet my parents. They're pretty freaking incredible. What else you guys want to talk about? Let me know all of your interests here. I'm going to see. How is my, okay, quick, how is the sound for you guys? Is it too loud? Is it okay? I don't know. Hey, Chris Burns, what's happening? Let me know what you think about the sound. I've got my mic, and then anyway, whatever, just let me know. So yeah, what other questions you guys have? Did I send? Not yet, Bruce. I'm going to box that up tomorrow. I got to put that on. They're sitting over there. I got to model one for you. Thank you very much. They're awesome. Let's see. Game Changer. By the way, mom's into me. Dang. I'm glad to hear that the sound is good. On the Game Changer, I just changed the moose balls for the very first time. I changed tires, and anyway, those things they're going to be game changers too. I think they're really, really good. The back. This is all coming in a video, but I put 20 in, and that was great. Good stiffness, whatever. I took them out. I put them back into the exact same size tire, and they fit perfectly. So I think those things are going to last a long time, and the feel is really good. Tell us more about Adam's bike. So stoked for that guy. Great, Crash Hard. Really post on Rumble. I don't know. I don't have Rumble. Should I post on Rumble? Should I get an RK Tech or have TMR? RK Tech, that Fast 300, in my opinion. I'm a huge fan of RK Tech stuff. Oh, yeah. Gage Bolin, I'm so sorry about your TPI, dude. I don't like those bikes. I'm just going to say it. I mean, I've said it a million times. I'm going to keep saying it. So let's talk about Adam's bike. It's over there. Sorry, I should have it in frame, but it doesn't matter. I am so excited about that motorcycle. So it started out as a 2010 250XC with about 60 hours on it. Super clean, super straight, swing arm straight, everything like really, really nice. Our good friend Robbie gave it to Adam. He brought it to me. Robbie gave him all the parts. We put an OEM big bore kit on it. I know everybody wants a big bore kit right now, the 300 kit, but you can't find them. I don't know where Robbie got. Well, I do know where he got. He got it from Slavens, but I don't know when he got it because I don't think Slavens is out now too. So, so big bore kit, super duper clean and tuned on the carburetor, and then fix the starter. People keep asking how I fix the starter. I didn't do anything crazy. We just put new starter, new Bendix, new ring gear, shimmed everything, all new bushings, greased everything really well, and it works great. RK Tech, thank you, Kelsey. He machined us a stock head because they don't make a two-piece head for that bike. Kim, it's like yours. It's that era of KTM. So he had a spare head laying on the bench, and he cut it and built it for us. Really stoked. Adam's really excited about that. So this thing is going to be really good. We had it tuned for low-end grunt, right? Because he's a hard enduro guy. He's not a go fast guy. So it's it's not tuned for top end like mine. My bike rips on top. It rips down low too, but it's definitely tuned more for the mid and top. Let's see, Mako 360 from Lance. Thank you, Lance and Lisa. It's rad. So Mako 360. Rick Emerson is sending us some of those G-Rip bar ends. Put that on there with full wraps. You can run. We're doing the skinny ones and putting the full wraps on. And then I valved the suspension. Woohoo! Zach was teaching me how to valve the suspension because when we got set up with TBT, I had Zach trained. I didn't do it. I just had them train Zach, and he's been doing it. And he's an amazing mechanic. But since he's leaving, well, he's not leaving forever. But since he's going to be gone for a while, anyway, I'm going to have to do it. Right on, Harley. I'm glad you got the stickers. That's awesome. Frank K, is this common for all TPI or just 150? Frank, it's like 50-50 on those TPIs, dude. Some of them blow up, some of them don't. Is there any issue getting proper fuel in Hawaii? Bruce Kennedy, that's a good question, but we got Adam's head is not real high compression because I let him know, we're going to sea level and we don't want to get race gas. So it should run on pump gas down there. I'm sure it'll have to be 91, but it should be just fine. What needle did you put in for the jet? HM. Oh, for this, it's an N8RH, yeah. Although, yeah, it is in the video that's coming. I just am editing. I got so much work to do, but I don't talk about that. But it is an N8RH. And Bimir, it's not that common. It's not that common for him to blow up and have be super lean. It is common for people to not warm them up right, but it's those bikes are weird. I know that a lot of people have had no I watch content also YouTube censors. I don't know who you are. Anyway, getting gas is no problem when I was stationed. Well, there we go. Garrett Anderson. How's it going, Garrett? When are we going to ride dirt bikes together, dude? Come on. This whole school thing and you being responsible is not good. Let's see. That's what, yeah, Kim, that is what Kelsey recommends. I love that needle. It's what's in my bike. Oh, by the way, because I know the X-Teen guy's not going to be watching this, or maybe he is. I don't really care. I'll be honest anyway. The X-Teen, the original one he sent me, I took it out. I filmed a video. It still sucked. So it's off my bike. I put the key in back on, but I talked to him, and they're sending me two 36 millimeters, and hopefully those are going to be good. So I'm going to keep testing that thing. It's annoying. 3 and they're all perfect, but they are different in their own ways, which is weird. Yeah, Bimir, it's the weirdest thing about those bikes. So seriously, so you've had 3. They were perfect. I rode Jimmy Neihart's. It ran really, really good. I've done a ton of them. We got one right over here. Again, it's just out of screen. That we just put the TSP kit on, and when we took the head off, it had 43 hours when I took the head off, and there's a bunch of scratches in the cylinder. Not bad. So we're actually going to run them on his. I think if you guys watch some of those other videos, like we sent one out. But anyway, so yeah, TPIs are weird. I'm not a fan. I like my TBI or my carburetor. Crash Hard. Adam's bike does need a Crash Hard sticker. If you want to send me a couple, I'm out of them. So if you want to send me a couple more, I would definitely get one on there. Mike Schlupp, awesome last name. What is with the new beta? Oh, that one right there. That's Garrett Anderson's. He's here. School is dumb, Garrett. But it is waiting for a real test on the clutch fix that I did. It is winter in Colorado, and we do ride during the winter, but we also don't get out that much because sometimes it gets muddy and whatever. So I haven't had a chance to get Garrett's bike out, but I will get out very soon. I'm hoping this weekend, maybe Monday. This weekend I might go out on my bikes with my kids, but the Monday when they're in school I might go out and rock and roll. So I need to get out on that and test that fix and make sure we're good, and just do another ride video on that because it's awesome. If you guys haven't checked out the new video that just dropped this afternoon, make sure you do. That was riding in the Adobes in the snow, and man, my kid is getting so fast. It's so good. And the new shock settings on the Game Changer are, and I've got another test setting I'm getting ready to do too. So man, is that thing, it was good already, and it's just getting better. I still want to test the X-Ting on my X-Trainer. I'm better gas mileage so bad. My first is twice the mileage I do. Jared, we will see what happens. You don't want to test the one that's on mine. It sucks. It's terrible. And Kim, yes, carbs do still rule. The TSP had an ECU tune on my 2020. Made the bike run awesome. But I'm on a TBI now. Yeah, see? Okay. Bimir, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but dude, the first day I rode Loretta, my mind immediately went to everybody with a TPI is just going to be bummed out when they ride one of these bikes, because if they thought their bike ran well, and maybe it ran well, they were sorely mistaken. It's so good. That's why I just dropped a new motor in my 15XC. Got me, yeah, Chris Hitchcock. So I still have my 18 300X CW, and I don't know that I'll ever sell it. I don't know why I would. It's just freaking so good, and it just, and then mine's got way over 500 hours now. Hey, there's my mom, Suzanne. Everybody say hi to my mom, Suzanne. She's the best. She's awesome. That radical change on Loretta shock is interesting. Bruce, it's crazy interesting, and it's crazy good. I haven't got it in the really hard rocks yet. Like, I don't think I'm going to notice anything in like hard enduro rocks, like that rock crawly kind of thing. But I need to get it in some fast, like charging through rocks to check it out. But I think it's going to be good. And it is really weird. And my mom telling everybody to give thumbs up. If you haven't give thumbs up, or my mom will come find you and beat you up. I know, trust me, I know she can. Ed Dugan, what's happening, brother? We haven't talked in a long time. How are you? Again, if you don't know how to give thumbs up, back out of the chat, thumbs up, and come back in. So yeah, really excited about the new XCW coming out in 24. A lot of people are saying it's going to be full TBI. Other people like me, I think it might be split. You know, it'd be TBI with oil pump. I don't know. I'd be so stoked to be wrong about the split and have it be full TBI plus an oil injector, because that would mean it's like super easy to block that oil injector off premix and have that motor be tuned, I'm sure, differently, but that motor in a W, that's so good. Bruce, am I going to prove there's no need for the high-speed compression adjuster? Bamir, I'm with you. I think hybrid also, because I don't know why they would have put castings in the stinking cylinder if they weren't going to use that. And Josh McCanninch, that's a great name also. I don't know when it'll be announced. Usually the W's are early, but I kind of think because they're going to be brand new, they might be on the back end. Like, so kind of like the XCs were announced early, but like they were released late. I think the W's might be late this year. I'm kind of hoping, because I need money to pay for one. I got money down on it, but I don't have enough money to buy one yet. And Bruce, I don't know if I'm going to say there's no need for a high-speed compression adjuster, although I kind of don't know why you need to adjust it if you get the valving right. It's the same with your forks. I mean, you don't have high-speed compression adjusting on the forks. So, end of May. There we go. That's sooner than I want. But that's okay. I'll be excited. Fix eliminates the choke. I guess you can everything. So Hellider, I don't think so. I think there's something wrong with the carburetor. There's a leak in there that's something not just the choke, is what I'm guessing. Keeping my carb 18300, but gonna trade for a TPI model. Yeah, dude, two-stroke addict, you're gonna love it, and it is a game changer, 100%. But I'm keeping my carb too. What is a good price to pay to get an engine rebuilt 250cc? Jason Labreque. What 250? Tell me what bike it is. Whether it's a two-stroke, four-stroke, what year, what bike. Did you forget you're buying a Suzuki? Garrett, I'm not buying a Suzuki. I thought about it, but I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I know that it would be really good for YouTube, but Josh, I think the new W's are going to be sick. It's going to be so good. What other questions do you guys have? Anything else about Adam's bike? I'm trying to think. Well, you know, it's, we installed the Lucioli tubes yesterday. I shot a video on that. So they are very heavy, which I don't think is going to matter all in the hard enduro, real rock crawly slow stuff. I just don't see that being a big deal in that kind of stuff. I think it would be a huge deal if you're going fast, because all that extra gyroscopic effect, I think, would make the bike feel clunky and slow to handle. But they're kind of a pain in the butt to install. They're not as hard as getting a tubeless set up the first time. I mean, once the tubeless is on, I get it. It's fine. It's easy to change tires, although I don't think it's that easy. But anyway, it's fine. But putting one on initially is a little bit hard. These are kind of the same way. They're kind of a pain in the butt to install, but they're not that bad, and we got it done, and I don't think there's any way they're going flat, so that's nice. Are they dead feeling like a moose or bouncy like a tube? They're bouncy, Bimir. They're bouncy like a tube, but they're so freaking thick, and like, yeah, I didn't really notice how heavy they were, and maybe it's because Nitro Mooses are heavier than Michelin's, first of all, so let's start there. So because I've seen a lot of things online talking about them, on my posts on Facebook, talking about how that, anyway, they're way heavier, they're 8,000 pounds more, I don't know. They're definitely heavier, but I didn't, like, picking it up and holding it, it felt heavy, but it didn't feel heavier. Again, this is just like, didn't weigh anything, but it didn't feel noticeably heavier than a Nitro Moose. Did feel heavier than a Michelin, definitely feels heavier than the Moose balls. But Chris Hitchcock, yes, more drilling like tubeless. You got to drill another hole, and just the way they go on, they're kind of weird. But I don't know, it's not that bad. It's just kind of a pain in the butt, like whatever. I don't know. It's not that bad, but it for install. But I think it's going to be good for guys that want to run 4 PSI, 6 PSI, whatever, not get a flat and not deal with the complication of tubeless. I think it's a really, really good option. So for hard enduro, I think great. Hair scrambles and stuff like that, there's no way I'd run those things. No way. They're too heavy for that, and they do still have a chance for a pinch. I mean, really hard. But like, if I'm going fast racing, I'm taking Mooses every time. Let's see. Garrett, how can we teach people how much dirt bikes really weigh? Oh, that is a good one, Garrett. I'm glad you brought that up. So Garrett is talking about the fact that everybody was freaking out about how much his beta weighed on the scale. Like, there's no way my whatever weighs 6 pounds. So I really don't think anyone ever really weighs their bikes. They read what the magazine says, and then they start taking things off and like weighing it, and then they just make up a number. I swear. It's ridiculous. Gotta love how adjustable tubeless is, and coach single track, 2 PSIs to go. So Glenn, that's where I think the Lucioli is going to be good. It's because it's like the tubeless in that way, but I think it's better because it's more simple And yeah, I think it's really good. The slow stuff, it's really good. I just don't like the idea of it, the high speed and the spinning, because it's heavier. I don't like, whatever. It's not that big a deal, but Bruce, can they be patched like a tube? Yes. So that's another thing. And they're way less likely to puncture because they're 7 millimeters thick. They've got videos of guys running with just the tube around the wheel and like riding through nasty rocks and stuff like that. I just don't think God, I cannot imagine poking a hole in one. But if you did, you could patch it. If you ran HD tubes, what would your tire pressure for fast desert? Mike Virgin, I have run HD tubes a lot before I switched over. For fast desert, I run like 14, 15 pounds, man, a lot. In fact, I raced the Baja 1000 on tubes and in 2006, and actually I ran like 16, 17 in that because I was doing, going fast. Do they put the weight to the ground instead of to the suspension? So, Lucas, they do put the weight to the ground. The problem is there's a big problem with unsprung weight. I'm not going to go deep into that here right now, but Google it. You'll see there's a serious detriment to having too much unsprung weight. And it is unsprung weight when you put it on there. It really makes bikes not handle that great. In fact, I did have a comment from a guy on Instagram who, they're from Brazil. Lucioli's from Brazil. I thought that was Italian because it sounds Italian. But they're from Brazil, and this Brazilian guy's like, hey, we use those in Brazil. They're awesome. You know, no punctures, no nothing. But, he said, and he uses them. He's like, but they're heavy, and I notice it in the suspension. It doesn't make it work very good. The Dirt Bike Channel guy puts each bike. Yeah, no, Chris, 100%. And I put mine on a thing. But we're getting messages from people, not Kyle, saying that their bike weighs 206 pounds or something like that. I'm like, whatever. I mean, my 125 XC bone stock, I weighed it bone stock, was just over 200 pounds with no gas in it. Like, it was 205, I forget. Anyway, I'll put it on the scales. And again, my scales aren't perfect. I don't have it's not perfect. It's not a perfect system, but it's pretty close. And then for me, I'm looking at the difference between like bone stock and then fully set up to race. So I don't really care that the scales are off. It's just that they're the same, right? So, and so it was like just over 200 stock with no gas. You put gas in it, that's another 14, almost 20 pounds right there. Then you put mooses in, that adds, you put heavy duty tubes in, that would add hand guard, skid plate, right? Goes on and on and on. And every little bit, like disc guard, all that stuff adds up. So a lot of people just are ridiculous. When I get tires on my 450, I'm going to try those tubes. Yeah, Garrett Anderson talking about the Luciolis. I think I'm going to put on my XR650 because I think they're going to be sweet for dual sport. Now that is going fast, so the gyroscopic effect is going to be high, but I'm also not trying to like carve my 650 through a bunch of stuff. So spare bike, I don't run it very often. I think I'm training for a TBI. Too short cut, get the TBI. It's so good. I know, Chris, I totally thought they were Italian. Rodrigo, yeah, trail nerds, Matt and Andreas. Yeah, I know he uses them. You know, obviously Adam does dirt bikes, who rides over there with you guys, not at Rocky Mountain Way, but Penrose and all that. Anyway, he's been using them for like 6 months. He loves them. So, I mean, a lot of whatever. I think they're good. I don't know. I think they're good. I still just like mooses, so I also don't look for the most squishy, super tractiony stuff. Although when I come ride Rocky Mountain Way Extreme, maybe I'll be looking for more of that. But I do like with the moose balls, I can take a moose ball out, and that would make the whole thing squishier too. So, because you know the other option, so you got tubeless is one option to be able to run low pressure, get a big flat, wide footprint of a tire to get traction. So that's one option. Another option would be heavy duty tubes and whatever. Then you get the Luciolis, big flat footprint and low chance of puncture. The other option is drilled out moose, and you know, super soft. The problem with that is those work really well. That's what all the pros run. They run 2 or 3 rim locks with mooses drilled out. But the problem for us normal humans is that you go through mooses like crazy if you do that. You're looking at, I mean, a long race, like a long 4 or 5 hour hard enduro race, it'd be done. So you'd have to do a new one. So it's just prohibitively expensive. But you can make a moose feel super good too. It's just expensive. Scott Summers would just, dude, Bruce Kennedy, absolutely. And Scott Summers didn't give a crap about how much a bike weighed. He freaking hauled butt on the XR600. So good. Yeah. Also, if you add air fork switch to spring, it actually adds like, it's like 3 or 4 pounds going to springs. John Best, my son wants KTM. What year would you recommend him pick up? What size KTM, John, are you talking about? Oh, in the CR250. I'm going to come back to you. I remember it. 1 second. And also on that CR250 rebuild, what would you, do you need top end, bottom end, both, one or the other? Let me know. I wonder if you can remove a moose ball by just putting one side. Yeah, you could. Yeah, Bruce, you could pop one side off and get one out for sure. These Brazilian tubes could be awesome on adventure bikes. Yeah, Glenn, I think they're going to be really good on adventure bikes and like just heavy bikes. And then again, the crawly, slowy stuff, it's not going to make any, you know, I don't think the weight is going to make too big of a difference. What about hybrid moose tubeless? People are doing that. I'm not, whatever. To me, Jared, that is just complicating a system that doesn't need to be complicated. That's why I say tubeless. I've had the same set 3 years now. Too poor to keep replacing anything. Yeah, Chris. So, and the thing is, that works for you for sure. I've seen other people struggle with that. You know, it's all about how you change them and not tearing the little outer thing and whatever. You know, but the other thing is, you know, full transparency for me is that I don't buy mooses anymore. I'm very fortunate. You guys are the reason I don't have to buy mooses anymore. This YouTube channel is why I don't have to buy mooses anymore. I don't have to buy moose balls. I don't have to buy mooses. They're free, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So I understand that that is not everybody's situation. So Bruce Kennedy rode with Scott 96. He kicked up so much sand in the UP, he had no chance of being behind him. I can only imagine. If you guys don't know who Scott Summers is, if you're young or you don't know, please do yourself a favor and Google Scott Summers Racing, Scott Summers Honda, however you got to look at it. It's so good. Garrett Anderson, I'm too big of an idiot to run anything other than a moose. I'm also like Garrett, Chris. Yeah. So let's talk about that CR250 full rebuild real fast. If you're still here, hopefully you're still here. Who was that? I'm going to look it up here. I apologize for not. Jason Labracue, Honda CR250 two-stroke. To pay to get that rebuilt, I'm just going to say you're getting everything. Crank, piston, all of it. If you have to fix the cylinder, if it's really blown up and the cylinder is junk, and you're going to have to get that replated, you're looking at, I mean, it's probably paying a shop like us going to be about 18 to 2 grand with the price of everything now. It's you know, it's like an 8 hour, like $800 in labor, 800 to a grand in labor, somewhere in there. And then you know, a wrench rabbit kit, if you bought it like that, is going to be $700-800. So right there, you're at a minimum of $1,600. And then cylinder replating is going to be about $300. So that's 19. So about 2 grand, about $2,000 if it's really blown up. A lot of those guys that whine about the weight can stand a few pounds themselves. Absolutely, Sandy Smith. And as our good friend Cody Webb. If you haven't watched the Cody Webb interview from last week, you owe it to yourself to go watch it. It wasn't the best quality. Cody was in his van by the side of the road on the way back from riding. So the video quality wasn't awesome. The sound, I think, kind of comes in and out. It wasn't just the most amazing YouTube experience, but he had some absolute gems. My favorite one being, we were talking about suspension, and you know, I'm a suspension shop. I want to value your suspension. I think I can do a good job, but Oh, I love it. He said, you know, honestly, if people would just lose 30 pounds and learn how to ride their motorcycle, they'd realize the suspension's just fine. It's so good. Bimir, yes, you do need to get your YouTube channel up so you can get free moose balls. It works really well. You're going to bring back the test bike lap time board. Yes, I am, Garrett. I got to get that back up. Whatever. I need to build a studio, my thing, but I just got to get the lap times. I got to go get the lap times and stuff. The problem is it's really changed, unfortunately, the course, but it's all right. How do moose handle heavy riders? 300 pounds, do you recommend a stiffer one? Mike, yes, I would run a stiffer moose. I would run the stiffest moose that they make. Nitro Moose makes, you know, the platinum and the soft. I would definitely do the platinum. The soft is going to wear out really fast. The moose balls are really cool because you could just jam another ball in there. And I still have 2 left over on the rear, and like I said, they really didn't shrink much, so those are pretty cool. So yeah, you need more. You know, if you're going to do moose balls, which I'm into these moose ball things. I think they're awesome, and I think they're going to hold up long enough to make them worth the extra money. I think that's going to happen. I feel like 95% sure they're going to last long enough to make sense financially, because they're like $50 more. It's like $189 instead of a $134, something like that. Anyway, so they're a little bit more money, but anyway, so. Yeah. So Mike, if I were you, I would get the moose balls and I would put the extra ball in, and you'd be stoked. Lucas, I should see if I can get Scott on the show. I don't know how to get a hold of him. I'll figure that out. Maybe a long shot, Nick. But do you know any reliable KTM mechanics in Southwest Montana or Northwest Wyoming? I will drive back down to you if I have to. Nick, I don't know. There we go. Kim. Do you know anybody in Southwest Montana, Northwest Wyoming? I know that's not really where you live, Kim, but I know you live in Wyoming, but anyway. What's the price on the moose balls? I'm guessing you heard it. About $189. So can I say this? Guys can start going. Yes. Balls deep, jam another one in. Thank you, Bruce. Yes, that is absolutely something that you can. Honestly, maybe the best part about moose balls is the number of jokes that you can make as you're installing them and talking about them with your friends. Like, really, what else do you need in life? Hold on. I have to do this because I've been wanting to do this on the thing. That's for you, Bruce. Quebec, Canada, HP Enduro, what is up? How is Quebec, and do you speak French? Last I heard, Scott had a mental break. Oh, no. Bruce, that's actually super sad if that's true. It happens, unfortunately. So I know a guy here in Southwest Wyoming, but I've been going to Morgan. Yeah, Kim. Thank you, Kim. So Nick, there's your answer. I don't know anybody up there at all. Curious to try the Beta 23 Beta race. KYB Shock, new race edition, specific cylinders, supporting. I have not, Andy, but man, the way I feel about that 22-200, I would bet that is one wicked little motorcycle. So I'm a big fan of the Beta. Yeah. If the 24 KTM wasn't going to be such another game changer or such a big change that people are going to want to watch on the YouTubes, I'd probably be buying a Beta, if I was honest. Well, actually, if it wasn't going to be a big thing for YouTube, I probably wouldn't be buying any new bike this year. But I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm talking about before the balls are shot. Sandy Smith, I do speak French, and we were covered with snow. Nice. Très bien. So I don't know how many Sandy yet on my end, but I do have a friend as Mason Ottersberg, who races Best in the Desert and Western Hare Scrambles and Works, and he's been running them for a little while now, and he's got like 60, 70, 80 hours on a set of moose balls, and he's putting them back in, and that's high speed pro. I mean, the guy's a pro, like winning races kind of pro. And so that's beating on him harder than any of us are ever going to beat on him. Or I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I don't know how fast you are. Maybe you're super fast. But I know I can't beat on him that hard. So I'm expecting to see, honestly, I'm expecting to see a full season. I'm really hoping for a full season, which is like, for me, is like 150 hours, which would be sweet. Glenn, I swapped over to Q Bear. Is that beta? Is that, I don't know what that is. Q Bear. Glenn, sucks to hear that Bruce, he was one of my heroes back in the day. Oh yeah, Bryce, I know. Such a bummer. Scott was bad dude. But yeah, so man, oh no, Bruce, that's horrible. I just read that. That's super sad. I'm really liking the beta platform. There's some things I don't like, the steering stuff. Garrett, have you noticed like how horrible it is to try to steer your bike like in really tight stuff? It's terrible. When you're moving, it's not that big a deal, but man, it's bad trying to like really tight things because the steering stops, and the steering stops are where they are so that the forks don't hit the radiator. So I don't like that. Years on the KTM. Awesome bike, Glenn. Yeah, I like them a lot. GVN88, what tire pressure does your moose ball, so funny, every time, set up feel like? I would say that it's about like 10 or 12 PSI. And that's hard for me to say because I haven't run air in so long. Garrett Anderson pivot trips. So good. Turning circle does suck, Glenn. That's what I'm saying. As far as, yeah, I know, Garrett. I know they're in as far as, because it's almost hitting the things anyway. Sandy Smith, you don't race anymore. So Sandy, dude, I think the moose balls are going to really, really last a long time. So Bryce, I am going to stock them, but more importantly, yes, I can drop ship. So if you're interested, give us a call or shoot me an email or a text, and I can get them to you. So let's see. So yeah, 10 to 12 GVN, I would say. But the thing is, moose balls and mooses in general, so these things feel, I think, way better than nitros. Like, well, I don't know about better. I like Nitro Moose. God, thank you so much, Jeff, at Nitro Moose for all the support. I really like them. I'm still going to stock them. I'm still going to sell them. I like them a lot. But they're more bouncy. Therefore, you don't get quite the traction and the really choppy stuff because the tire wants to leave the ground. I mean, suspension helps with that, but like the reality is pneumatic deflection is a real thing. And so they're lively. And I like the lively in some ways, but the moose balls are more like a Michelin or a Pirelli moose, and they're more dead feeling. So it's not really like 10 to 12. It's traction-wise, it's more like 6 to 8. But as far as cornering in a hard turn, it's more like 10 to 12. Worried about the population of moose. Everyone is harvesting their balls and putting in their dirt bike tires. Yes. These are Canadian moose. The guy up in Quebec. Sorry, man, we're taking your moose balls. Yeah. How do you say moose ball? There he is. Do you know anyone that has a WP Pro 65 insert the bike? HP, I'm getting some of those hopefully very soon. I got to save up a little money. I'm a little strapped on the old cash right now, but 6500 kit is awesome. I can say I do know lots of people that run them. They're very, very good. It's a lot like the twin chamber setup that I just did on Adam's bike. They're really good. Nick Carr coming in from the UK. Good to see you. Where in the UK are you? Wyoming is going to have 3 enduros this year. Army C or 2 days. Oh, I know. Dude, I want to go to DuBois so bad, Kim Jackson. I love the town of DuBois so much. It's just awesome. Can't you just cut up moose? Yes, Hello Dirt. Yes, you can, but these are a different compound. Like the foam itself is very different than the Nitro Moose. So, Bruce Kennedy is so good. Oh, let's see. Scooty Poof. Moose are a-holes anyway. They are super, super aggressive and funny. I like that. Old Ryan friend. Dang, I want to do DuBois so bad. When is that, Kim? Tell me when that is. I'm going to look it up. FYI, if you need to know, the beta has Michelin rear moose and a nitro front. Right on. Thanks, Garrett. I think you told me that, but I forgot. Bryce, yeah, hit me up. Yeah, let me know, Bryce. You will really like them. I know you. I know your riding style. I know how you are. You're going to love these moose balls. In fact, the video I just made, I think it comes out tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. It's uploaded and ready to be published. But I basically say, thumbs up, call me, I'll send you something. They're awesome. They swap 6500s in my Explorer fork, way better. There you go, GVN. Yeah, 6500 kits are awesome. It's a twin chamber style fork. It's super good. August 25th. Okay, Kim, I got to talk to my wife. I got some serious traveling going on this year. I'm so stoked I get to go to Hawaii. Woohoo! Cannot believe I get to do that. That is like a dream come true. I get to go, and I don't even have to race, which is awesome. I love racing. I love riding, but I don't think I want to ride in the freaking crazy humidity and in all that mud. It doesn't sound like that much fun. Our a-hole's actually the most deadly animal in North America. I know, Bryce. That's why I like them. I like deadly animals. Did you throw any codes in the first few hours of TBI? Yes. Zach Holler, I did. I did the push button code. Before they fixed the ECU reflash. So I had the power valve code, and then I found out that if you take the tank off and have it, or actually you don't even have to have it off, if you unplug the power to the tank and you hit the start button, it'll throw a stupid code. Then, Sean Deagle, I'm glad I made you buy an XC. Don't do that, because that's another code that you can't clear on your own. It's so stupid. I hate that about that. Hopefully KTM is going to get the Wi-Fi module for these things, and we can fiddle with those ourselves. That'll be really good. All the money, what's happening, man? Garrett, Hawaii isn't humid. Usually that's what they say, but I hear it is this. Disturbing the peace coming in from Hawaii. Where are you in Hawaii? I don't know anything about Hawaii except for that I'm going to Oahu and then to the North Shore. I'm going to check out Pearl Harbor. Where are you in Hawaii? And are you going to be at the race? If so, you got to come say hi. Kent. Oh, yeah. Stoke on Kent. No, South. Nice. Nick Carr, right on. Heading to Hawaii. I think Bryce, I'm very excited about this. Will you and Zach be leaving the shop to Leander at the same time? Reserves in Hawaii? No. Bruce, he is not going to the reserves until after April, sometime after April. So use your Amazon link to buy a popcorn maker last night. Yes, Green 260. Thank you so much. It does help. Every little bit helps. It really, really does. So if you guys haven't watched the video, haven't seen my thing, that ad, by the way, is going to be on some videos, in not every video, but it's going to be on a few videos as we go, try to get people into that whole situation. But it does help very much. So if you guys want to buy stuff, go to my Amazon page first and then buy whatever. It really does help a lot. It makes a big difference. I run the Michelin Moose in the rear and nitrogen in the front. I get pretty good traction. Don't notice dead feel in the front. Never those tubeless again. Absolutely no flash. Yes, Lyndon E. Right. I'm with you 100%. Lyndon, you should try the Moose balls instead of the Michelin. I mean, the Michelin's fine. Look, whatever. But when you wear one out and it's time to try the Moose balls. They're very good. KYB or WP conversion kit. Didn't buy the WP one yet. Jay, WP, in my opinion. KYB is good, but it costs more, and I don't think it's that much better, in my opinion. I think the WP is the way to go. You save about $500 in parts, and then, unless you're valving it yourself, that's money you can put towards valving, because the kit comes ready to drop in and be fine, stock, whatever, you're good. But if you want it, I mean, if you're going to spend that much money on the fork, I think you should get the kit revalved for you. You definitely get a better product that way. So that $500 you can put towards that. Disturbing the peace. Stoked that you're going to be there. Make sure you come say hi. I don't know how else to say that you'll find us, except for it'll be me, this ugly face, and then Adam, who's awesome. Where do I find those small fork cups to put state registration stickers on? Kim, those used to be available through Fly. That's where mine came from. Now I think you have to go to E-Line. I think E-Line makes them. So yeah, check that. Maybe someone else can chime in and let me know if that's right or wrong. So it's almost 7 o'clock. Let's take a few more questions here, and then I'm going to boogie because I have some editing to do. Disturbing the peace, I'm stoked. And I'm glad to hear that it's not as humid as the South because, yeah, I don't need any part of that. Although, like I said, I'm not racing. I don't care. Adam's the one going to be suffering through the slippery, slimy whatnots. Oh, Decal Works. Oh, cool, Chris. Thank you very much. Buy them from Decal Works because those guys help me out. Oh, I got to show you guys something. Hang on. Boom! Look at those new plastics for the Game Changer. I'm so excited. I got a new plastics, new graphics coming. We're going to get it ready for the coming race season. I'm putting an X right there because I am going to do a hard enduro and I want to look good. Bruce, have a great weekend, man. Take care. Let's see. Elan hasn't. Where you got? Disturbing the peace. I don't know where we're staying. I'm bringing my family and we're going front like Monday, and then we're going to the race. So we're flying to Honolulu. We're going to do Pearl Harbor and then kind of work our way up to the North Shore. So I'm not sure exactly. Moose balls for the front tire. Yes, tubeless front and rear, but only air down my rear and stuff. But yeah, Josh, I would do moose balls in the front 100%. They're so good. I mean, they're so, and I got the front off, and I haven't put it back on because I had another wheel with a brand new tire on it and brand new mooses in it. So like, I just put that on. I did. So this tire has the moose balls into a new tire, the old moose balls in a new tire, and they worked out really good. But that tire is a wheel that I had all ready to go with a brand new M59 and a nitro in it. So I just put that on. The front moose balls, but I think I'm going to be able to put those in without having to do anything. Saw your CC hard enduro setup. Looks super light even for hard enduro. I did XC, but went stiffer than your setup, even for tight checks. Interesting to hear how you feel. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. We'll see. I mean, the kid riding the thing is super lightweight. I don't know. I mean, I'm not lightweight. I don't know that I would have had it be that light, but Dave got 4 cars from Rocky Mountain. There we go. Some graphics cards for that beta. Yes, you do. Do you love how I went on the Big Island for 25 plus years? Nice. Took my plated KDX back and forth a few times. Put the frame of the bicycle box. Nice. That's awesome, Sandy. Blue. I don't know what blue means. I just suggest Turtle Bay. It's 5 minutes from MX Park and not in Waikiki. That's 45. Okay, cool. Thank you. I will take that into account. Wish they made blue plastic. Oh, blue. Yeah, blue. Oh, sorry. Blue for my plastic. I'm so excited. It's so cool. Okay, Waikiki's fine for the week. Then find some place for the North Shore. Yeah, disturbing the peace. Thanks, man. We're kind of gonna wing it. Because that's how I do vacations. But I'm bringing the family, and it's gonna be super fun. I can't wait. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, blue plastics. I'm excited, and the Decal Works guys were cool. They gave me. So I sent they didn't have that blue on in their like files yet. They didn't have that color blue yet. So I sent them a fork guard so they could get the color match, and then they sent me. Well, they haven't sent it yet, but they're sending me a brand new set of graphics that are all super sexy. Hopefully the turtles aren't out. You sit in turtles hell for hours. Garrett, I know. I don't think they are. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I'll try the moose balls. Love the M59. I use the feature great Tennessee. Yeah, Lyndon, try the moose balls. If you want, it would be super rad if you give us a call or shoot me an email, and I could drop ship them to you. I get to make a little bit of money. You pay the same amount. All that stuff. I'd love to ship you a set of moose balls. It'd be super cool. If that doesn't work, that's fine. But again, if you want to send me an email, Morgan, here, I'll type my email in here, Morgan at Highland-Cycles.com. Hey, Broads, what is up, dude? Wing It works pretty well in the islands. Yeah. Bryce, I wing it no matter where I go. South America, France, whatever. I don't like to be tied down to some sort of schedule. I am tied down to the race schedule, but yeah. Anyway, Penton Jack Piner Blue. Yeah, I know. It is that blue. It's super cool. Garrett knows. Yeah, I'd love to come do a Thursday night ride with you sometime. Kevin Marshall, please do. please come do a Thursday night ride. They start in, 44 days, I think is what I put up today. So very soon is when they're going to start. And yeah, it's going to be fun. We go all summer long. And then I guess this is the last daylight savings. So we're going to go on to daylight savings forever now. So then we'll have to figure out when we start and stop those, just for the cold and the dark. Anyway, guys, it's a little after 7. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. Man, there's a whole bunch of you. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching this later, please ask questions. I will get back to you. I try to answer all the questions on YouTube. I missed some. It's getting a little hectic. The channel has grown, thankfully, and it's awesome. I'm just so blessed, and I'm really, really, really so happy. So, I mean, this is so cool, and I'm so happy to have the channel back. I love you guys so much. Please, please, please get out and spread the gospel of two wheels. Punk Rock Club. You guys are my favorite. You know you're my favorite. I love you. I literally, truly love you and like you more than everyone else on earth. I love you. Get out, spread the gospel of two wheels. And as always, you know what I'm going to say. I hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on, but very, very, very much more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes!